Today we have the installation of an RP2040-Tiny by WaveShare. As you see in the video there, we're going to get right to it. This is something I have not installed in the past. This is something new to me. I have installed the regular ones, the ones that we have to take the USB out. But this one's kind of cool because it has the capacitors integrated in it. As you can see there in the video, I'm going to point them out. Those are, I think they're 470K or ohms, whatever they are, on these points here. So this ones have them in there. We don't have to solder that, and we can also put the ribbon cable on there, and we can program it easily without having to remove the USB-C port. So we're gonna get right to it. I have the board disassembled, the OLED. We're gonna be using it on an OLED, and it is flashed already with the firmware that we need for this OLED here, which I think is 2.73 if I'm not mistaken. So this is the OLED board. We're gonna go ahead and put the shield out. We now have the shield out from the CPU and the RAM. We're going to take a little bit of this thermal paste out. And I want to make this video short, so I'm going to try to do it real quick, speed through it. But at the same time, I want to be really careful. Okay, this is a special request from a customer, and we're just doing what they asked us for. It is good that it doesn't have the thermal paste in the capacitor, so we don't have to do a lot of cleaning. We're going to cut that piece there. I use my nails for this. You can use whatever you guys have, some pliers maybe. And we're going to scrape a little bit of the point here next to the CPU. Let's go ahead and zoom in a bit. Somebody was asking what I was using for this. This is just like you can get this at any appliance store or hobby store. I don't know where you guys live, but there is a Hobby Lobby here nearby, and so I got these and kind of sharpened the end, and I use this to kind of scrape that point there, and also to remove the CPU RAM cover there. Okay, let's prepare that point. I'm going to turn on the fume extractor here, so there will be some noise. That is good, so we just prepare that point. Next, we're going to work on the back, on the chip here. Where the DAT0 goes, we're going to remove this piece here. And again, I'm just going to use my fingers. Just rock it back and forth. It is out. We will be using an adapter here, or a DAT0 adapter. We're going to slide it here. So it is in there. We're going to apply flux. I'm going to quickly test that point with a multimeter. Perfect. And I'm getting 600, so that should be good. Next, we're going to turn it over. We are going to, let's prepare the flex cable here. Now that looks good. I'm going to put that so that it can kind of stay there for a little bit. And actually we're going to turn it over. And then we're going to go ahead and apply some heat along with some solder there. Perfect. I hope you guys can see that. I am going to get a little bit of Kapton tape. And just kind of insulate this. There we go, this is ready. Why not just install it now? And well, maybe because we have to connect these cables first, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on there now and then bend it to the side so that it's not on the way. That looks perfect. Out of smoke. That looks very good. So what I'm going to do now is put the shield back on there. And I'm going to use the same thermal paste that was originally there. And there's more at the bottom here. We can just put it right in the center. That way it'll spread evenly. For that, we're going to have to cut this piece here. right here. I'm going to make a quick cut with some scissors here. Okay, the cut has been made. Maybe just a little more. So what I did was cut that area there, and it's ready. So before I do that, I'm gonna wire this pin point here so that I don't have any trouble, or it's not hard for me. Okay, so we have that in place. Very good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave the wire out a little bit. Just kind of cut it from this side here. And now we can close this up. So there's a little bit of thermal paste underneath the shielding here, but also on there. Okay, so we're good in that area. Just gonna put it on top. I'll close this pins a bit. And that is good. So far so good. I'm just going to bend that a little bit, not too much, so that I can have access to the other point there. And the other point is going to be, I'm going to use blue wire. Hopefully you guys can see that. That is very nice. See that? It's a nice solid point. Next we are going to maybe stabilize the chip. Now that those points that were a little tricky, we can go ahead and put the chip in place. For that I will use double-sided tape. And we're going to go ahead and do that right here. Hopefully you guys can kind of appreciate what I'm doing there. So I just want to make sure that those points are safe, and even if they touch the case, they're fine because of the tape there. Okay, let's go ahead and put it in place. We are going to put it right here. Right there. So that's not going anywhere. So we can start by wiring 27. Let me see, let me look at the diagram. So 27 would be the reset point. No, 27 would be the point next to the CPU, and then 28 would follow, which would be CLK, no, CMD, I'm sorry, and then so on. So let's go ahead and wire this one here. Somebody asked if this wire was insulated. Yes, it is. The copper looking wire. It is insulated with some very thin insulation of plastic or whatever it is that they use. I'm going to go ahead and route this around the screw hole. So that would be number 20. '27. And so we're going to wire that one. Good. That's good. Even then, I'm gonna try to put it on top of the tape here so that it sticks there and it doesn't touch the metal, just in case. 27, so now we have 28, which is point A on the chip, which in this case is going to be the CMD point, which is that blue wire. And I'm just going to go ahead and bend it a little bit carefully. So that's good. As you can see, I kind of put it to the side there. And this is number 28. Let's go ahead and wire that. Or solder that. This wire is just in the way here. Very good. I'm just going to put a little more solder on the other previous point there. Much better. So the next one would be the C point, which is the point on the other side of the board. We're going to go ahead and turn this around. Maybe not. Let me just verify. Yep, it is that 0 point, We are going to use a red wire. And again, we don't need the capacitors, the resistors here, because they're already in place, which is nice. It saves some time. Okay, so we were saying that that point goes to that 0. So we're going to go ahead and route that over there. So that one will go here. Very good. On this one, I usually cut it with some pliers so that I don't disturb the that point. Okay, looks good. So next comes the easy part. Next, we're going to do the voltage, 3.3 volts. We will wire it just like this. You guys might be asking what kind of solder tip I'm using. Somebody asked that before. This is actually an old one, so it's all messed up on the tip. But I didn't get my new ones, and I'm just using this in the meantime. If you know your tools, you can make them work. Anyways, that's that. Let me just put some more solder there. It looks kind of weird. That I'm okay with. So we're going to put that on the 3.3 volts, which is here. Okay. That's quite a bit of solder, so we got to remove some. But that's okay. Very good. Next, we'll do the ground point. I'm still not very happy with this one here. Let me. That's better. So the ground point, I know this one goes right here. We want to give some slack for that antenna connection right here, so let's solder it on there. Better. That is good. Now we have the reset point, which is going to be number 26. We can bend this back here already, so number 26 will go wait a minute. Well, I'm using number 26, so what happened there? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Never mind, I'm using number 27, so 26 it is the reset point. So it's this one here. That is good. Very good. I knew it was a little loose there. There you go. It's a little big, but we know that it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so now we have this. You know what? The customer told me to bridge one of these points here on the actual. Let's finish setting up the board. So this one goes to number 15, and we are done with the installation. CPU point. Perfect. YAO Video Game Repair, what can I do for you? Sorry about that. So now that we have that point, CPU is done, we can go ahead and bridge that point that he told me. I mainly install the chips. I don't do a lot of software, but if you guys send me the instructions or diagrams, then we can install anything you guys want. He said he wanted a pair of pads next to the 0 pins, is the bottom pair of pads next to the 0 pins. Okay, so these two we need to bridge. Okay, so that's bridged. All right, we are done. Let me just verify that we installed it properly. This looks good. They're not going anywhere. Ground to ground, power to power. Everything looks good to me. We're gonna move this aside a little bit. And we are gonna, excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and give it some power. I'm not gonna go ahead and put it back in place. We'll know by the LEDs if it's working or not, and then we can go ahead and put it into its case and everything. Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry. All right. I'm going to connect it real quick. By giving it some voltage, and depending on what it lights up, then we'll know. Give me another second. I gotta grab a USB. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and plug it in. We're gonna go ahead and give it some juice, and I'm gonna go ahead and dim the lights and see what happens, okay? Okay, I don't have any power. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, sorry that it was still disconnected. Here we go. All right, so that's good. Now it's glitching, and if it turns white or green, then there you go, green, and it booted up. So the installation was successful. We can also tell, guys, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but when it's not connected to the battery and you guys have an amp meter like this, you can tell by the amps that is drawing, usually 0.9, 0.09 to 0.13 or somewhere around there. But anyways, this installation has been successful. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug it, and we're gonna go ahead and put it back in its shell. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Visit our website, wayao.org, wayao.org. We are giving away $50 every month, and the winner will be announced here in the next couple of days. So thanks again. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.